Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the shop, listening to the siren. Can you see that scratch near the 20? Look to the left of the 0. Can you see that? I'm very particular. So I'm picking up, let's get out of the light. Can you see it? Goes kind of diagonal horizontal, off for the left of the 0 of the number 20. Okay, this big project, we got to get that out of there. We was grinding one day with this on like a dummy, and we had a couple little splatters land on here. We've had this watch probably a couple, this may be 2 years. Yeah. Self-winding Seiko. I just call it the Seiko 5 because you look underneath here where it's Seiko, it's a 5. So I have to look it up to tell you the whole model number. Try to get self-winding. Best watch I've ever owned, 50 bucks. So the only other watch I've ever really prized was when I was a kid. I had a Westclox pocket watch, black dial with the glow-in-the-dark hands and numbers, which looked just like their alarm clock, wind-up alarm clock back then. So when I was a kid and delivered newspapers, that was my watch I always had, pocket watch. Because in wintertime I'd have it tucked down in my pocket and stuff. I didn't like wearing a wristwatch back then, but getting that glare from the lamp. Of course, the orange rag probably doesn't help. I'm sure you all seen it. Okay, here's what we're going to use. We got a little bit of slurry in here with it. This is Barkeeper's Friend. Okay, so we see we got a little water down here. Now you can put this up on the shelf and cover it and use this over and over. I had one of these in a pop bottle cap and lost it. You can do this. Quit stuttering. Yellow, the orange here is probably not the color to be using, but I wear gloves and stuff. I don't like any chemicals in my hand. This is actually called stuff that they use to bleach wood with. That's almost too much. So here, this is what we're going to do. That's almost too much water. Let's sop some of this up. That's almost too much water. You want a lot of compound. Yeah. See that? Keep sticking. You want a lot of compound there. Was there a hair or something in there? And what I'm going to do is just go around and polish the whole thing. I'll shut the camera off and then I'll come back. But I just want to know if you can hear that. You can probably hear my wood stove crackling. It's chilly. It got down to whatever, close to freezing last night again. See, it's almost too wet. We don't want to get anything inside my watch. This might be water resistant. I'm not going to believe that. Water resistant, waterproof. I don't believe that. There. I can live with that. Okay. We'll be back after we sit here and do that about 1,000 scrubs. Watchmakers out there screaming, "What are you doing?" Now I can't tell you what this crystal is, but it's not cheap stuff. If somebody's a big fan of Seiko, they'll know. This is not cheap stuff on this dial. This is a $50 watch. They have one like $150, which is made in Japan. This movement is made in Malaysia, so they bring it down to 50 bucks. That's about all I can tell you on the values of some of their watches. So stay tuned. This is going to be too long a video this week because it's all about everything I've polished. After this, it's just show and tell. So this is the only work you're going to see me do in this video. Okay, the scratch is still there. We're just going to have to live with it. It's a deep one. If I can get, like I said, get back up in here like I was before. You can almost see it. I said, look between the 0 and then a day and the date. You can almost see it pop up. See it? See it? See it? See, can you see it in there? That little diagonal? It's lower on the left side. Here, let me turn it. See, it's almost straight across. But look how pretty everything else looks. Let's get it out of the lamp. See how nice everything looks? And after I got done buffing with the wet one, and I kept blotting it off. Try not to get anything down on the edge like this. You don't know what that could do to a watch. I stayed away from there. Don't want nothing dripping there. I blotted off. I know this ain't good cotton, but it's flannel. I mean, it's 100% cotton flannel bed sheet, bed clothing. There, good enough. So I really like this watch. I put an extra hole in here when I got this between the holes. Now it's ripped into one big hole. Now it's too loose. I don't know what to do there. I've looked for watch bands. I've washed this a dozen times in the kitchen sink with antibacterial soap, dish soap. I washed it, cover up the watch, and I washed this with hot water, and I've stretched it, and I did everything when I first got it because it was just not comfortable at all. And I'd twist it, and I'd soften it up, and I wore it fishing back, so I've had it that long. I wore this when I went fishing a few years ago in my fishing videos. But it's comfortable, and I like it. That's a German Luftwaffe bomber design. So I can tell people time in digital, you know, instead of saying, well, it's quarter after the hour or quarter to the hour. I mean, here's your hour in there, so it's 12:07. So I like it. It's kind of oddball to some people. Like, wow, you got all the minutes on the outside. Well, people nowadays, if you say it's a quarter to the hour, well, I don't know what you're talking about. There's probably people out there and children can't even read an analog watch. Not to say anything bad, it's just where society is, the way the world's gotten. You can see it's Friday. Yeah, we're making our videos early. Okay, let's off and show some of the pretty things we polished during the week, and then that's going to be it for this week. No work, fun time. Okay, it's show and tell time. Let's just start out with whatever I grabbed first. Stainless ruler. I mean, I've been on a polishing roll. Here's what it looked like. An old beat up scale. It's actually machinist scale. It's got your 30 seconds. It's actually got hundredths of an inch, tenths of an inch, millimeters, 16ths, 30 seconds over here, 64's here. Somebody asked what that hole is for. I just think it's hanging on a nail. So, maybe it's beat up. I just got on a roll. Okay, there's that. Here's something really cool. I cannot tell you the number of this brass. I ordered it from Online Metals. It's a company I ordered materials when I first got my lathe. And this one I put the jaws in on my drill press vise. So it was kind of spendy. I spent 20 bucks for copper jars in my big vise on the bench. $20 piece of copper. I'm looking over at it. It's like 1/2 inch thick, 3/4 wide or whatever. This is 1 inch by 1/4 inch. Look at that. It's still got scratches, but see, you could see my stereo. Look at that. That's what it normally looks like. That's what it comes like. So, you actually could, if you had a sheet, I can't find it. I was going to do it. I had a little sheet, it's like 64 thousandths thick. I was going to make a brass mirror and put it in my wallet. You could go out camping and shave in it. There's me behind the camera. I don't like showing myself. I just don't like being on camera. There's a pair of goggles that's up on the lamp up there. Okay, enough of that one. Of course, everybody's seen my screwdriver video. I've done that. We're just a digging here. You might have to pause and do for more stuff. I made this a long time ago, and I did not have a lathe, and I did not have a drill press. This metal come out of something, I thought it was stainless. It was so shiny. It came out of some piece, it was a pin out of a printing machine or copy machine or something. I mean, I'd salvage all kinds of junk back then. It's just like this rod. This is all done freehanded. Ground on whatever with Dremel tools. This is probably hacksaw, then use the Dremel tool. It's probably mostly the Dremel cutter blade. It's kind of oddball. They both started out the same dimension here from the lines. I put the ball peen in. But this is an old screwdriver handle. I take my glasses off to see where it's at. It's made in USA. We're not going to lie to you. We're going to find it. There we go. I don't know if it's going to show up. But it says it down in there. But ain't that pretty? I've got another old red one that's darker I keep in my truck. I'm not going to polish it. I drive a Ford pickup, see? So I keep a small pair of pliers, roll of electrical tape, and a screwdriver. Maybe some extra hose clamps, gas line behind the seat, extra fan belt. You know what that's like. No, this nice hammer. I mean, it's long, but you get a reach with it. I mean, you can tell I've used it. Look how beat up. I've used it on my little punches and stuff, like punching out something, which that's coming up next is the bench block. So we'll leave that lay here. Okay. let's bring out the bench block. I bought this a while back. We'll just bring all the junk in and take it out. See all the junk I got in here? Let's just take it all out. Let's get some of the fingerprints and scum off it. I didn't spend a lot of time on this, not an hour or nothing, but ain't that cool? I mean, it's smeary. It's not perfect. It depends on how. I tried buffing this way with the wheel in one direction. And I did the sides real quick. But what a handy item. I said, this thing weighs probably 3 pounds. It feels like the head of a 3-pound sledgehammer. And I made a video on this for driving pins on and stuff. I've always wanted one. I have a round thing of aluminum. It's probably only like 2 inches. I thought about drilling some holes in it, but I just don't want to because I don't want one unless it's got the groove. You lay something round in there. I've showed that in the video. You lay something round. This will work. I mean, if you're going to drill a small hole, if you're brave enough, you know, do it at your own risk. You're going to hold on to it while you're drilling. I mean, 16th inch drill bit, I'll hang on to it. But still, you could pop up out of there, but there you go on that. That's pretty neat. Okie dokie. Let's pause and see what else we got. We made a video on this. We may post it. But this is a Ward's Power Craft. Same as my welder. They deleted the E. P-O-W-R-craft, spelled with a K. Power Craft. You see the rust down there. I mean, just to practice on. I did this before I did, well, I did do this one first. But I did these before I did my Craftsman handles. So in case I got carried away. But it needs a little work on this tip. I filed it just a small amount because it's kind of chewed, which gets indented. You can see where I took the file. I started working on a little bit, but just a bent screwdriver. Something to use up here for a number 2 screw. So that's cool. Some long-time subscribers know I got a yellow and green coast-to-coast handle on the shifter in my truck, automatic on the column. Of course, I wanted to redo this. I said no because I use all the time. This is all done just with one of the little Dremel emery abrasive stones, so it's all smeary and swirly. But now that it's painted and stuff, I don't want to mess with it around the buffer. Might as well show and tell it, so you might not have seen the video. Indestro, E-N-D-E-S-T-R-O, Indestro, out of Chicago. Almost looks like it came in a kid's tool set, especially with the blue. Ain't that pretty? I think that's sail blue. And we'll review the crescent wrench again. I never did go back and double do it again because I had a little bit of blurriness on one side. Show me you can do that Harbor Freight stuff. If you're interested, just go back and look at my videos. Just recently, past few weeks, when I got the Harbor Freight. So my pin bites, which I showed one day, it's not perfectly, and they're perfectly straight. By the time I drilled the hole, it was kind of wallered out, and I epoxied it in there, and I kept, before the epoxy dried, I kept trying to keep it straight, but we're going to pause and show you why I put this handle on there. This is a good time to show you why I put this handle instead of that old black plastic one you've seen the video. So then that'll be the end of the video this week. Is me just showing you how I drill a hole. Okay, we'll get back here so you can see this, or I'll just jack up the camera here. This is why I did this. I don't care if I drill holes. It's just cheap. See how I can put the palm of my hand here? Okay. So we'll go ahead and point down a little bit. Put a little pressure. Be careful. You can see I flexed the drill bit. It's a 16th inch drill bit. You can do this. You can speak English. Oh, it'll flex. I'm just doing this in a hurry. If I was doing this more precise, you wouldn't see me wobbling, flexing it. Looks like a circuit board or plastic. I had plexiglass. I wasn't going to drill it with a power drill. Here, let's get down here. Cheap bit. Believe me, I have Dremel bits in a little pill bottle if I ever find them. They're brand new. They come with Dremel sets. I don't know how thick this plastic is, but boy, we're bringing up some curls. There, we're through. See that? That's why. It spins in your hand. I said grab it down here. I wish I had some shorter bits because you can see, watch, I'll flex it for you. See that? Don't tell me you can't snap that thing real quick. Anyway, that's it. So now you know why I put a better handle on it. It looks nicer and it's more usable. The little black plastic one, I mean, I tried it. It's like, I don't know, here in my hand, I can't see what I'm doing. It's way too short, way too heavy because they put that steel rod all the way through the handle and molded it. It was way too heavy for me. It was a lot heavier than it is now. So there you go. There's the reason why I changed the handle. So thanks for watching this week. We look forward to seeing you next week.